Oh yeah, finally. I'm so excited, y'all.
Hope nobody's watching me. When people watch me, I get hungry.
Oh yeah, the CJ
Okay,
Bronson
she's
Show.
strapping.
CJ Bronson Show.
She's strapping some more.
Crazy funny asshole.
Are the people really crazy?
Oh yeah, the CJ Bronson Show. Crazy funny asshole. The CJ Bronson Show.
I say to myself, what the hell is wrong with the people?
What's going on, guys? Today is Sunday, July 17th, 2022, and we have a lot to go over. We have a lot to discuss. What is going on? Hope you had a good night. Hope you had a great Saturday. We had fun yesterday. I did not end up driving at all, believe it or not. We went to a pool party, a happy birthday party for one of my son's classmates, I guess, best friends, you would say, and it was a great time. We had a good time. We always have a good time at these at these kinds of functions. You know, I love the kids. I love the parents. I love, we get along. I have no problem with anybody. You guys know me. Any gender, any race. I got, as long as there's, we speak the same language. We may not see eye to eye on all topics, but we speak the same language, so there's no problem, right? That's usually what happens, and that's what life is all about, right? Life is all about experiences, all about meeting new people and sharing ideas, whether they're common or not. And maybe you learned something new, and I learned a lot. And one of these days, I'll have some extra time and I'll be able to sit down and talk to you guys. Right now, I am rushing. I'm rushing a little bit, not going to lie. I have to post this episode and then I get back to work because I have to make up for some of the money I didn't make yesterday, obviously. Well, with that being said, boy, is there a lot going on. Wow. Just like, every episode I always end it repeating almost the same thing, saying, guys, be safe when you go out there, whether it's Friday or Saturday, whatever night it is. You guys go out, even if it's a Tuesday, be careful, be safe, protect yourself at all times, know the exits, know your surroundings, be alert, be wary, things could happen at any moment. You may think you're safe. In the world that we're in today, you define safe. You're not safe at a church, at a school. We really can't say you're safe. But, and that's what leads me to today's episode. Today's episode is about the active shooter that the Office star Craig Robinson at one of his comedy shows, that took place at one of his comedy shows, basically, in North Carolina. Remember the other day I said not much happens in North Carolina. Well, I was wrong. We had the ATM issue the other day, unfortunate incident where the woman unfortunately lost her life at that robbery, and now we have this. And it's a shame. It truly is a shame that it's happening in this country, but let's cover the article first, and then we'll circle back. Shout out again to Jen Psaki. Circle back to my thoughts on it. So, a comedy show featuring the Office star Craig Robinson was cut short in North Carolina last night, Saturday night, when an active shooter stormed into the club and opened fire. Again, this is according to the actor and to the police. Now, during an Instagram live stream, Robinson was seen outdoors during the concert for the band Big Time Rush, underway at the Charlotte Metro Credit Union Amphitheater. He said he was moved there from a venue just steps away called the Comedy Zone when someone opened fire during his own performance. Quote, I'm performing at the Comedy Zone in Charlotte, North Carolina. There was an active shooter in the comedy club, Robinson said. So they moved us over and the concert's going on. It's Big Time Rush, so I thought I would share it with you all. Again, there's an active shooter at the club I was at, so we had to run over here to this concert, motioning the camera toward the outdoor stage as concert goers sang along with the band. Big Time Rush to the rescue, Robinson said, referencing the pop music boy band composed of Kendall Schmidt, Logan Henderson, James Maslow, and Carlos Penavega. I'm safe, we cool. It was just wild. I was in the green room when they were like, everyone was like, get up. It was wild. It was a moment. Again, shortly after 9 p.m. Saturday, a male subject entered an establishment at the 900 block of NC, North Carolina, Music Factory Boulevard, according to the Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department. He brandished a firearm inside the business, which was quickly evacuated, police said. The suspect then discharged the weapon. There were no injuries, and the suspect was taken into custody, police said. WSOC TV reported that customers and employees had been evacuated before shots were fired. An employee told the outlet that the man came in waving a gun and demanded everyone leave. So they have not released this individual's name, the suspect's name, this alleged gunman's name. We don't know his name. We don't know his photo. We don't know his backstory. We don't know his age. We don't know anything. So what do we know? We know that everyone got out safely. Everyone was calm somewhat for what it was. Nobody got trampled. Nobody got stabbed, robbed. Nobody got injured in any which way. Craig Robinson is safe, thank goodness. And I believe that you could say that the Comedy Zone did a great job in apprehending this individual. Security was there, I'm assuming, and police. Shout out again to the Charlotte Metro Credit Union Amphitheater to allow Craig to continue his show there. And shout out to the police department. But here's my concern. My concern is, what if? Now, what if? So what they're saying is this man broke in, busted through the door, basically pushed his way through, brandishing the gun. Now, I truly hope that the security there on site were armed as well. That's my concern. Were they armed as well? Because I believe everyone, especially if you're doing security, I don't care how much you're getting paid. I don't care, none of that. Obviously, I'm hoping you're getting paid decently if you have to, watch the door with a gun. But in the world that we're in, if you're doing security, and I used to do security years ago, we never had these kinds of issues, but looking back, I've had some drunken customers I had to throw out numerous times. 2 times, actually. One got really out of hand. A lot of pushing and shoving, but luckily nobody was injured. Now, in today's world, would I do security again? Absolutely not. Not without a firearm, not without some kind of insurance policy. You'd have to, sign me up where I get some kind of life insurance or some kind of, proper training with a gun, and I need to be licensed. I want all that stuff. I want to be protected. I want my family to be protected. I want everyone, people that I'm working with to be certified, to also, my team to be trained and ready. Because the world that we're in today, anyone can just come in with a gun and look at this. What if the demands got worse? What if he barricaded the door and demanded other things? Right? So I don't know if the security were armed. Hopefully they were. If they're not, hopefully they are now. Hopefully this is an eye-opener for all venues. I know, shout out to Joe Rogan was talking the other day on his podcast about opening up his comedy theater soon, and he's concerned about deviants like urinating on the floor and acting crazy in the during the show or mid-show or whatever. Well, one thing you got to think about is security. Your security has to be strong. And I mean, obviously you want metal detectors, obviously you want people to be searched, but you have to have that. I believe in this world that we live in, it's going to sound crazy coming from me because, I'm all about freedom and I'm all about, freedom of speech and all of that, but safety is also important too. I believe we need to have the metal detectors outside so that, before you even enter the building, you need to go through a metal detector. You have to, or get wanded down, at least with a wand, one of those metal detector wands where what's this? Oh, it's just a nipple piercing. Okay, well, show me, because I don't trust you. It's going really. Well, you must be a one big nipple piercing because it's going off like crazy. I don't know. You got a piercing down there too because it's going off down by your balls too. Oh, you do? Well, you're gonna have to show me or remove it because I'm not. That's the world that we have to live in. Hell, if you got to go through all these checks and balances to go through the airport with your vaccine passports and all these mandates and all this stuff that they're asking for, then I'm just saying that you need to be, if this is the world that we have to be in, if you want to go to these venues think about what you're asking. You're asking to sit down in a closed environment. I'm not even going to get into viruses or diseases. I'm saying sit down in a closed environment with a small amount of exits, maybe 2 or 3 near to you, and hope and pray that the staff are well armed and well trained to protect you in case of an incident. And these usually back in the day, 10 years ago, not even. You didn't have to worry about that. Not even. You remember that? I used to go to a music concert, whatever, and or a comedy show, and the last thing on your mind was, man, I hope no one comes in here and does something crazy. But now you really have to think about that. Now in my mind, when I go to the movies, I think to myself, number one, I'm paying X amount more for this movie. Number two, what if things go down? Where's the exit? How do I get out of here? What's the fastest way, for safety? And we try to, I try. I don't tell anyone else, but I try to think about that stuff because, I don't want to cause anybody to get nervous, my son or anything. But I'm like, let's figure this out. Let's see. In my mind, I'm like, if things were to go down, we could run down this way and go out this way, or run out this exit. And these are, this is what you have to think about. And sometimes I say to myself, is it worth the hassle? Yes, it's going to be fun going out. It's a once, what are the odds of something like this happening? Maybe slim to none. Maybe. But that's what these people probably thought too when they went to the show. Or maybe they didn't think about that. And I'm not trying to be, I'm truly not the fearmonger. I'm not trying to be one of those fear-mongering people or conspiracy theorists, but I know I'm not the only person who's thinking about this in the back of their head. Like, man, we got the show on Friday night. Is it going to be an issue? Because honestly, I think about that all the time. I think about that a lot. Like, there's many people I want to see do stand-up again, and I want to go back out and go see, like, shout out to Marlon Wayans, Joey Diaz, Tim Dillon. I want to see all these people, Joe Rogan, of course. I would love to see them. But it's just, what if? What if something goes weary? They're comedians. I consider myself, I identify as a comedian in my mind, and shit. That's something you have to really freaking think about. If I were to do stand-up, if I were to go to AC and do all these things, obviously I would have to get the proper medical stuff, health stuff. I'm not going to say the word more than once in the show. I probably have to bleep it out the other one time. But, you have to have the certain credentials to not only travel but to perform. That's one issue. I'm not concerned about the people looking at me. People have been looking at me my whole life. I'm not worried about. I do have some stage fright, believe it or not. But once I'm up there, I'll be all right. I'm just mind over matter kind of thing. But that's something that I think about a lot. And here's another example. The Comedy Zone, from what I was looking at, it's not a big venue. It's not like a massive venue. It holds around maybe a little under 1,000 people from when I was looking, and it's not a big venue. So a lot of people probably thought, hey, what are the odds? This doesn't happen often. And again, for those small venues, do they have the money, the affordability to have armed security, to have metal detectors, to have things like this? And I am not going to say we need to take guns off the street, because I truly believe we need to have them for our self-defense, for our protection. Especially, like I said the other day, that hero in Florida who defended his home from those home invaders. Right? He's a hero to his family, to his block, probably his neighborhood. He's someone they probably look up to now, if they didn't already. And these are things that we have to consider if we're even going to discuss banning guns, which I'm completely against. We don't need another Venezuela situation. They did it in Australia, no good, no bueno. Did it in Venezuela, the country basically collapsed. And I just don't think that's the way to go. Should there be more testing for gun licensing? Possibly, maybe, but from what I'm understanding in the article, he had a handgun. So, I don't know. I don't know the state, North Carolina's rules for owning a weapon. I don't want to put any rules on people. I believe you should be able to have a weapon. You should be able to, as long as you're a U.S. citizen, it's part of your, part of the conditions of being a citizen. You're allowed to have it. It's part of the amendment. So why can't you have one, right? But at the same time, if you have a mental health issue, that's where that comes into play. But if you think about it, if everyone had one, in my mind, if the store, again, I've said this before, if the store owners had weapons, if the employees had weapons, if you can defend yourself, your business, and this is what this is, this comedy place, the Comedy Zone is a business. If these guys, one of these guys had their own weapons and they made it known that we carry, I think that the possibility of someone doing this again is slim to none, unless they're trying to end their own life. in a gunfight or something. Again, they have mental health issues. I don't know. But I mean, it's better to be safe than sorry in my mind. And, if they're able to afford Craig Robinson, or, again, he was in the Hot Tub Time Machine. He was in The Office. He's a well-known name in the comedy industry. Hot Tub Time Machine's a movie. The Office is a television show, for those who don't know. It's a very popular show. I believe it was reimagined from a United Kingdom or UK show, also called The Office. But it is very successful over here in the States. And, he's, again, a very successful comedian. So if they're able to afford him, then most likely they're able to afford at least one person to have some kind of firearm. Or, I don't know how much a metal detector is, or one of those wands, but I'm hoping they have one of those as well. But I suggest you have those people stand outside. I know it's going to be tough, maybe get an umbrella or a fan or something, but it's better to be outside and, face the weather elements than face the aftermath of some other kind of incident that may take place if that person with the weapon comes in. It's freaking crazy, man. It's the world that we're in. And imagine this. Imagine you're seeing the show. This person comes in with the gun. You may sit there like half drunk or whatever, high, whatever. I don't know the law in North Carolina, but you may be a little intoxicated. Somebody comes in with the gun, and you may think it's part of the show. You may sit there laughing on like, "Oh, Craig, you crazy, Craig. He's just like Craig from The Office. He wild. This show is amazing. Man, this show is so believable. His acting ability, and this guy with the gun, his acting ability is amazing too." Maybe that's what, I hope that's not what people were thinking, but from what it sounds like, everyone got out of the building calmly and soundly, and maybe they were not as intoxicated as I would have been if I was at a comedy show. But knowing me with my crazy mind, I would probably be laughing at the whole thing. Like, man, these guys are great. I mean, next time I'm gonna see if I can get a job being one of these actors. One of these prop guys. Till that gun went off, then the joke was over. But luckily, no one got injured. Nobody got hurt. And if anything, I mean, I'm sorry to say this, but I keep it 100 over here. It's probably going to help Craig Robinson's career, because now they're going to say, "Oh, who's Craig Robinson is on tour again?" A lot of people are going to probably, who are fans of The Office show, or will probably look into buying more tickets, or may try to support him in other ways. I know he's obviously, you could see from the Instagram post, he's not begging for attention. He's not trying to capitalize on this situation. I truly believe he was just alerting his fans and his followers of what's happening, keeping them, up to date with the situation. Especially, imagine you show up late. Imagine you show up late to the show, and you're like, "Oh man, I'm always late." You can ask my wife. My wife knows I'm always late. I'm always keeping us late from being late. But imagine we go to the show. You show up to the show late, and this is going on. You walk in, and the dude is there with the gun. You're like, "Oh man." Or maybe not. Maybe we're, with me, I'm usually like 20, 30 minutes late, and she hates it, but I usually am. And I was late because of me. We were late yesterday to the pool party, for the pool birthday party. But anyway, so imagine I show up late, and then the whole thing is already cleared out, and I'm just standing in an empty comedy room with a whole bunch of cops. Like, "Oh, what I miss," kind of thing. They're gonna be like, "CJ, good thing you came late because you missed this." So basically, what I'm saying is, maybe that's a good time to be late. Maybe being late could pay off for me in this situation. Sometimes I say it's better to be early than to be late, but when it comes to such a situation like this, it looks like it's better to be late than to be early. I don't know. I guess it's all about timing. But like I said, luckily, nobody got hurt. I'm curious to see if they will ever release the suspect's name. I find it quite odd. Like, this guy comes into the comedy show brandishing a gun. At this point, he's under arrest. Why are you, holding his, restricting us, keeping his name from the public view? Like, why aren't you telling us his age, telling us his name? We know it's a male. That's what he's identifying as. So we know it's a male. We know he brandished a gun. We know he fired the pistol. But we don't know his age. We don't know his name. We don't know his race. We don't know his motive. Like, it's just really strange. And I know what happened last night, but Craig Robinson being a celebrity, and it being such I don't know how many people were in the show, or in the venue, in the Comedy Zone. But I just feel like it's really strange that they're just not releasing his name. Just give me his name. So, why make it so anonymous? You want to protect his rights? He didn't really give a shit about anyone else's damn rights when he went in there with the gun. He didn't really seem like he gave a damn. So why I know we're supposed to follow the protocol. Everyone has their rights and this and that, but I mean, what was he, 10? I mean, is that what we're doing? This kid was a kid? I mean, say a kid. I don't know. I'll get your, you know me, guys. Hit me up on Twitter at CJ Bronson Show. If I get an update, I'll throw it up there. I'll let you guys know, as always. Please like, comment, subscribe. Again, please share this if you can. I'm going to try to put up the YouTube video later tonight. I'm going to also try to add a link to Craig Robinson's post where he discussed this incident on his live feed. And yeah, guys, have a fantastic Sunday. Please be safe. Please be safe. And I'm out here driving in this 90-degree weather right now. So again, please tip your drivers, your Uber, your Lyft drivers. I love y'all. Have a fantastic rest of your Sunday. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Put in your maximum effort and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcast. It's available.